Welcome to Movie Postmortem, where we dissect films of all kinds, whether they're good, bad, or those guilty pleasures we just can't quit. I'm Reggie Hill, and I'm joined by my nephew Isaiah Brown. Together, we're here to examine what worked, what didn't, and why we keep coming back for more. So grab your popcorn because no movie is safe from the scalpel on Movie Postmortem. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. On today's episode, we'll be talking about Jurassic World Rebirth, the new film from director Gareth Edwards that follows the last Jurassic World film, Jurassic World Dominion, which came out in 2022. And before we get started, I'll give a quick plot summary of this film. 5 years after Jurassic World Dominion, an expedition braves isolated equatorial regions to extract DNA from three massive prehistoric creatures for a groundbreaking medical breakthrough. The film stars Scarlett Johansson, Mahershala Ali, and Jonathan Bailey. And so before we dive into the nitty-gritty details of this film, let's give our overall impressions. And so what is your take on this, Isaiah?
It's not often where I feel like I want to leave a movie like midway through seeing it. There were several times in the theater I was ready to go home because I was just I was so unentertained by what I was watching.
Yes, that's how I would describe the film. It's remarkably unentertaining. This is the type of film that is probably okay if you're sitting at home and you see it pop up on your streaming service and you're like, oh, yeah, I never caught that in theaters. I'll watch it. And it kind of passes the time, but it's not really interesting. I would give this, and this is probably generous and it might come down after our discussion. I'll give this 2 out of 5 stars to start. It was just a remarkably mundane, unoriginal film that wasn't nearly as exciting or thrilling as I expected it to be.
Initially, I'm gonna give this a 1 out of 5 because this barely qualifies as a Jurassic World movie.
In order to kind of frame the discussion, because I actually think it's relevant, I have a quick summary of all of the films that are in the Jurassic Park franchise to this point. So I'll go through these quick summaries just to catch us all up on this long-running franchise. So in 1993, we had the first Jurassic Park, where a billionaire opens a dinosaur-themed park using clone DNA, but things go wrong when the power fails and the creatures escape. A small group of visitors must survive the island and its prehistoric predators. In the sequel, which came out in 1997, The Lost World Jurassic Park, Dr. Ian Malcolm, one of the survivors from the first film, is sent to the island to rescue his girlfriend and daughter. A greedy corporation tries to bring dinosaurs to the mainland, leading to a rampage in San Diego. Then in 2001, Jurassic Park 3. Dr. Alan Grant is tricked into returning to a dino-infested island to help find a missing boy. The group is hunted by a more powerful predator, the Spinosaurus. And that kind of killed the franchise for 14 years. Then it wasn't until 2015 that we had Jurassic World. A new, fully functional dino-themed park reopens on the original island, Isla Nublar, but disaster strikes when a genetically engineered hybrid, the Indominus Rex, breaks loose. This was the one that had Chris Pratt. He became the face of the franchise. Then he was all about, training raptors. He was the raptor handler. The raptor wrangler. Then Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The island's volcano threatens to wipe out the remaining dinosaurs, prompting a rescue mission that turns out to be a front for illegal dino trafficking. The creatures are brought to the mainland where they're auctioned off until everything goes awry. And this film ends with the dinosaurs being set free into the wild, setting up a world where humans and dinosaurs most coexist. And then finally, Jurassic World Dominion. Dinosaurs now live among humans, causing global ecological and political disasters. Meanwhile, a new threat emerges in the form of genetically modified locusts, which are the product of a rival genetics company. This film reunited the original cast of Jurassic Park, all three of them, with the new faces of the Jurassic World franchise. And that's where we kick off with Jurassic World Rebirth, 5 years after Dominion.
I'm sorry. Can I just say, I love how you sounded confused when you said locusts.
Yeah, I was like, locusts, really? And I was like, oh yeah, I do kind of remember there were big locusts in that film. Yeah, I really don't remember anything from Jurassic World Dominion. I'm thinking like, what was the dinosaur? Like, was there a dinosaur threat in that movie, or was it just locusts?
No, there wasn't. It was just the locusts.
Yeah, I really don't remember Jurassic World Dominion. So
For a good reason too. Like
yeah,
that movie was not good.
I will say that Jurassic World Rebirth is not good. It will be, in my mind, better than Dominion because number one, this has a T-Rex in it. And I don't remember even a T-Rex being in Jurassic World Dominion. So,
I
yes. And the weird thing for me watching Jurassic World Rebirth, I had a moment where I kept thinking, haven't we seen this movie already? Didn't they already tell this story? And thinking about it as I was reading these short summaries, this feels like Jurassic Park 2 and 3 again.
well, I had something different going on. I had that moment you did, but I had like for a completely different movie. Which is like while I was in the movie theater, I was just sitting there thinking, like, man, am I watching Deep Blue Sea? Like, what is this?
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought as well. This plot is very similar to Deep Blue Sea. Now that we've given our initial impressions, I think we can dive into our causes of celebration and causes of death. Do you have anything that you would consider a cause of celebration in this film? And I shouldn't
Uh,
bias it that way. We try
I
to be fair to every movie. And so, is there anything that's a cause of celebration?
I think there's no being fair to this movie. I generally do not have anything that I really even like about this movie. There's only like one scene that I actually do like this movie, and that's it. That's the only thing I got. What about you?
Yeah, I have one scene that I like as a cause of celebration.
Yeah, the only one scene that I like is when they roll up to those like huge dinosaurs, and they're just like marveling at the size and like the beauty of them. And it was so obviously trying to recapture that first Jurassic Park like whoa moment, and that's all I got.
That's not the same scene I had. I can understand that. My
Yeah, but
scene,
it's funny because like even though I gave that like that one scene credit, my friend I saw this with my friend and me aunt, and while we were leaving the theater, like I told him like that was the one scene that I actually liked, and he said like I want to like that, but like I feel like they didn't earn that.
I agree. That's why I don't like it. I couldn't listen to the Call of Celebration. It's such a blatant attempt to copy and paste the majesty, the musical score from original Jurassic Park. It's just not earned. So like, it didn't move me. I'm like, yeah, I get what you're doing. You're trying to do the same. Wow, look at them. They're so magnificent and huge and the wonder. It just doesn't fit. I don't have any, I guess I would call them clean causes of celebration because even my cause of celebration has a caveat. So the sequence that I like that I considered a cause of celebration was the T-Rex scene where the T-Rex is chasing them in the raft on the river.
Oh, you liked that?
Yes. Let me get to my disclaimer about
Oh
why I
yeah,
like
here we go.
that.
Here we go.
I've spoken in seminars and lectures that I've given about what Jurassic Park means to me. Jurassic Park is one of the reasons that I majored in molecular biology and did genetic engineering for cancer research. It was just the whole idea of it. It just sparked my curiosity when I read the original novel Jurassic Park before the movie even came out. In the book, in the novel Jurassic Park, one of my favorite scenes is a scene where a Tyrannosaurus is trying to capture the protagonist while they're trying to escape on a raft. The scene was so technically challenging back in the 1990s, they couldn't
That they
put it
didn't
in the
even
film.
bother.
They didn't even bother. They couldn't do it. And it's never been done in any of the sequels. And so finally, all these years later, we finally have the T-Rex chasing the raft down the river scene. That's why I like it. Is it well done in this movie? No, it's
No.
not.
It's great because like, hey, here we are. We finally got the raft scene, and it's terrible.
It's not thrilling. You don't ever feel the people are in danger. I just like the fact that they finally put it on screen. That's again a very half credit type of answer that I'm giving for a cause of celebration, but that's as close as I can get. So now that we've both given one kind of half credit cause of celebration, let's move into the causes of death for this film. So do you want to kick us off?
Let me start this off real quick because this is something that I have like a biggest gripe about in just every movie in general now. This movie is not funny. Quick testimony here because like the three of us we were in the theater and we were just pretty much like stone faced from start to beginning while we were watching this movie. And everyone else was laughing. And so my friend looked over and he was like, "Is there something wrong with us? Like, why aren't we laughing?"
Yeah, this film bounces between trying to be serious and trying to be funny. And I would agree, the humor doesn't land at all. And part of me wishes that it stopped trying to be funny because it was just failing at every attempt. And I don't think that you have to try to be funny and quippy when this should be about the thrill of dinosaurs. And so I don't know why they tried to lean on that as a crutch, because as a crutch, it just simply wasn't working. My first cause of death is something that they reveal very early in the film. They state that the general public has become so bored with dinosaurs that the fact that there is a large dinosaur stuck in traffic, blocking traffic in New York City is just a humdrum, mundane thing. People don't care about the theme parks. People don't care about the fact that there are wild dinosaurs running around. And so the film introduces the fact that everybody in the world is just bored with dinosaurs and that everybody's just over it. This is just preposterous in my mind. It makes absolutely no sense in the film, and it doesn't make any sense for how the film is actually constructed.
It doesn't. Just like these are things that do not exist anymore, and somehow we're bored of this. And
And
like,
even if you take away the fact that it's about dinosaurs, that's like saying, you know what? Everybody knows what a lion is. There are no zoos in business because that's just boring. It makes no sense. Just for the sake of children who go to museums, families, the park, and that love of dinosaurs would always be present. It makes no sense.
like you mean to tell me like these people go to the zoos one time, be like, oh, cool, there's an elephant, and then just never again?
Never again. It just is dumb. Just as a premise, I couldn't get past it. And even later in the film, as we describe the scene where they're like, wow, look at the majesty, the majesty of the dinosaurs. I'm like, wait, but I thought everybody was bored with them. They're literally showing like, oh, the guy who runs the museum, we're closing down because everybody's bored with dinosaurs. I'm like, this is such a stupid idea.
I'm just like, how? Like, okay, impromptu stitch up here. Like, you could fix this so easily to where like he'd be like, okay, we're closing down because no one wants to see fossils anymore. People want to see live dinosaurs. Like, you could have done that. That would have been
Yes.
so. That would have made so much more sense than people just bored of dinosaurs entirely. Like, my goodness.
Yes, that makes a lot more sense. The other thing that kind of ties into this and the very beginning of the film opens by showing us that dinosaurs, which were roaming the earth freely in the last two films, oh, they all kind of died off because they can't adjust to the climate, so that they only exist in this very narrow region kind of around the equator. So they're kind of trying to erase the very stupid ideas that they started in the last two films.
I noticed that too. They were trying so badly to clean up their fumble that they did earlier, but just like at this point, like again, you know how I say don't have do things in movies.
Yes.
That's them half doing it. That's them realize, okay, we made a mistake there. Let's just kind of erase all of this, and them just like trying to just fix it up, but like not really saying like, oh well, the tropics is the climate that's closest enough to how it was in prehistoric times. No, it's not. Like, you can't
Yes.
gaslight me into thinking that that's how that works.
Yes, especially once you show dinosaurs freely roaming all parts of the world in the previous film. So yeah, I hate the fact that they're saying that people are tired of dinosaurs. The terrible decision to try to unwrite the previous two films is just dumb. And that's before we even kick into what the film is actually
Yeah,
about.
we're not even in the movie yet.
So
This is
that
just like the little lore that they tried to build here.
So that's how bad the film was. Before we even get into the actual plot properly, there were two massive causes of death for me that showed that the film was only going to go further downhill. I should have thought about that. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should just leave now before I see more.
Don't you just love them when things are just so convenient and they just don't even make sense, but this is how we have to move the plot along? Where it's something that happens where it just makes no sense, but because it's the movie, we just have to accept it.
Yeah, this
The
film is
fact
filled
that
with that. Yeah.
the fact that a Snickers wrapper just shuts down the entirety of that lab was so like unbelievably stupid that I just could not believe while I was watching it.
Yes. So the film, once it starts, it opens, I think it was supposed to be 15 or 17 years ago.
I don't know. We
Yeah.
jump all over the place in
They
the
jump
first
all
part of
over
the
the
movie.
place with time, and we're seeing this facility where these mutant dinosaurs are being created. One of the technicians is eating a Snickers candy bar while he's entering the facility. The wrapper ends up, falling out of his mouth. It gets sucked into some part of a door, and somehow this Snicker wrapper, it completely breaks the entire security
The
system of the
entire
entire
lab. Like,
facility. You see it short out the door, which somehow overrides all of the security. I don't understand why this was something that they decided was good enough to start the film. Like I said, we're probably 1 minute into the film at this point,
yeah, we're
and
like a minute in, and we're already dumb.
in the first Jurassic Park, the facility failure was due to human
It
action.
was due to human like action directly, but just put it here to where like, oh, just human, just like carelessness, like shut down, and like I can get behind like, okay, maybe like through human like carelessness, like something breaks or something, like one thing breaks or something, but like just a human error just like shuts down everything. It's just like so dumb.
Yeah, and it was so lazily done. It's not even a series of events where you see like, oh, well, it flew into this area and it started a small fire and the fire caused these wires to fray and then this happened. It's like, nope, you see it gets sucked into the door, then everything is just alarming and everything shuts down. Oh no, the giant monster is free. It literally makes no sense. It's
Yeah,
one of the dumbest things I have ever seen where the entire park security could be destroyed by convenient product placement. And
yeah.
part of me was like, why did Snickers agree to do this? Now, and that's the biggest problem for me with this film. I can't suspend my disbelief enough to believe that a Snickers wrapper could shut down the security, open the containment facility of an entire industrial complex. It just
Yeah,
doesn't make any
and I'm
sense.
like, and I'm not an electrician by any means, but like, and I know that there can sometimes be really stupid wiring things, but like, we're this is like engine, like the like this is these are like supposed to be like the top of the top geniuses here. Like, there's no way that this building is wired that poorly.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's a prediction of the terrible writing that's to come. Everything you see in the first 2 or 3 minutes of this film shows you just how poorly written it is. It only gets worse from here. And again, I'm not joking. We're probably only 2 minutes into the film at this point.
We're literally like 5 minutes into the movie. We're not even halfway done. And
There was something else that really, well, I actually want to. I'll wrap this into a cause of death. On our podcast, one of the things we always talk about is you should never start your film after a more interesting story. I think that's the biggest problem that I have with Jurassic World Rebirth. The film opens at the facility where you have all of these mutated dinosaurs, the security fails and you see the massive giant thing. You don't even know what it is. It's super scary. It looks like a Rancor from Star Wars. It's free. And then we cut to modern era and present day. Why aren't we telling the story about that part failure and all these mutant dinosaurs escaping? I don't understand why we're revisiting this like 20 years later. It didn't make any sense to me that we're telling the story of people going back to this place as if there wasn't an exciting story to tell about that very park failure. Maybe that felt too reminiscent to Jurassic Park itself, but everything else in this film is just ripped off of the other stories anyway. I felt that would have been more interesting. Let's dive into the characters as our next kind of cause of death. I'm not going to go through all the characters, it's not worth the time.
it's not worth it.
The lead,
Let's just give like a quick summary on them, then just move on.
yeah. So our main protagonist, played by Scarlett Johansson, is a woman named Zora Bennett, who seems like some type of military expat mercenary who can get people in and out of trouble, out of like situations. One of the friends of hers, who is a captain of a boat that they need to go to the island to obtain the samples that they need for this research, is played by Mahershala Ali. His name is Duncan Kincaid. And the scientist, because you always got to bring along a scientist when you go to Jurassic Park, Dr. Henry Loomis, played by Jonathan Bailey. Every single one of these characters brings nothing to the story.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. Once we got past the opening where the Rex is like getting free and all that, and they're like gearing up to go to the island while gathering everybody, I was just dead. like like
And
I like it was funny because like when they finally got onto the boat and they're just like, okay, backstory, exposition. This is how you're supposed to feel about these characters. Backstory, right here. Everyone, look. Okay, backstory, exposition. Look, right here, right here. You paying attention? Come on, pay attention. We all were just dead.
yes, that's exactly how it was. It's exposition dumping. terrible moments where characters pour their hearts out to each other randomly for no reason, just so you have some kind of backstory about them, which felt like reshoots to me because the tone changes. It's like, oh, we're making jokes. Now let me tell you seriously about how I lost my son. And it just doesn't feel like it's part of the same
Yeah.
film. Scarlett Johansson is supposed to portray a character who's very capable. And not one moment in this film did I feel that she was capable of doing anything that she did in the film, which was shocking because we've seen her be capable in the Marvel films as Black Widow. I don't know what they were going for here. She doesn't seem to ever be taking the situation seriously, where she's kind of joking her way through it, but she just doesn't seem to have the physical capability, the mental fortitude to do any of the things that she's doing. And again, that's shocking to me because we've seen her play a character who could do that.
It was just first off, just to get this out the way, you know for a fact this is just a paycheck movie for everyone that was on boards. Because
Yes.
like there was like no performance in this movie where I was like, okay, that was good. They were definitely just all coasting through all of this. And ScarJo, like I like you, but just like I can tell you did not care while you were being filmed while doing this.
So yeah, the characters, the writing of the characters, their arcs, it's just exposition dumping, unearned moments. And another thing that I thought about the plot structure, you know who's going to die in this movie immediately. You can tell who's going to die, who's
Yeah,
going to survive.
they immediately set up like, okay, yeah, that guy, he's the beehole here. He's gonna die probably. We're just gonna keep beating that dead horse until it's just rotted.
The sub the secondary characters are literally dino food and like fodder for the plot. You can tell because you don't recognize the actors or actresses that they're going to die. The people seemingly don't care when the characters are killed, and it just does a disservice to what these stories could be. I've talked before about some of the characters who died in Jurassic Park. There are moments where you were shocked, you felt sorry for them or something. Nobody here who dies, you don't care because the characters don't care.
I don't even think we spend at least 5 seconds just like addressing the people that died. And
This film has two stories kind of combined into one. We didn't get into that detail. We should probably talk about.
I
So
was
the
going to say
reason
like,
that Zora Bennett is recruited by these pharmaceutical representatives, they've decided that they can cure heart disease by getting some material from the dinosaurs, the ones that had the biggest hearts. Somehow they're going to use the material they get from the dinosaurs' blood to produce a cure for heart disease. I'm not going to get into the science of how dumb that is. I've talked before in other podcast episodes we've done about that. As a scientist, I can take only so much offense to some of the science. There is a plot point I will talk about later, but I want to get into
it's
that.
so funny because like when they were giving that rundown in my head, I was just thinking deepest bluest, my hat's like a shark's fin.
Yeah, it is very reminiscent of Deep Blue Sea. So I'm not going to get into that. So Zora puts together a crew of people to go to the island to get the blood of the biggest dinosaurs. They need to get three. It's like, you know what their mission is, how many they need to get. Our B plot is that there is a family where there's a father, his two daughters, and the daughter's boyfriend are for some reason sailing through the equatorial region where dinosaurs still exist. They
It's been
enc-
7 movies. Why are we still doing this?
I don't understand why he's doing this. It seems suicidally stupid for him to be doing this. They encounter a dinosaur, they end up getting shipwrecked. Our crew of mercenaries were going to the island to get the dino blood. They decide to pick them up. And this family joins our heroes part of the time while they're on the boat, then they get separated. So you kind of have the mercenaries doing their thing and the family doing their thing on the island, and then they're reunited at the end. Neither of these stories is interesting at all.
No,
I would have preferred us to only do one of them, though.
I'm gonna take one further. I would prefer that we did neither of them and we just stay at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. But if we had to have one of them, I would only want one because I don't need both of these stories. And again, these are both stories that we've done before. This is where the normal people end up on the island, like Jurassic Park 3, or you have the people who are prepared to go back to the island, like in The Lost World. So they're basically combining Jurassic Park 2 and 3 again with less results this time. That's where, unfortunately, you have to point the fingers at the writer and the director. The interesting thing to me Gareth Edwards, he directed Godzilla, the one that came out in 2014. He directed Rogue One.
How did you fumble this?
The thing that's even more funny to me, one of his first films, might have been his first film of his I ever saw. His film Monsters, which put him on the map, is about a couple who have to cross a zone of the earth because there have been these like meteorites that have crashed onto the earth and it's created these monsters. So there are like these no-go military zones where people aren't allowed to go. It's about these migrants basically trying to cross this area in order to get to America. That film has a very similar plot to Jurassic World Rebirth, and it's better done. This is his second best film about people trying to cross into a monster filled zone. It is so strange to me that this is not a better film. That's the other thing when you talk about how bad and convenient the writing is. So dinosaurs live in these very well established areas, yet everybody seemingly can just walk right into these areas in these islands. There's no protection, there's no quarantine zone, there's no anything. It's just, oh yeah,
It's
well, just don't go there,
again,
I guess.
it's been 7 movies, and there's still nothing stopping people from getting this close in.
I don't understand. I kept thinking, I was like, Monsters, Gareth Evans' other film, you have these great things. You show the border where there are warning signs where people shouldn't go, and it makes you feel even before you see the monsters. You're like, wow, this is scary. You get kind of tense just thinking about what it might be like. Here, it's just like, oh no, they just wandered into the island, nothing at all. So it just doesn't make any sense. When the dinosaur attacks happen, I was never tense. I was like, how did you make people almost getting eaten by dinosaurs boring? Even when people die, you're like, yeah, I saw that coming. It's not scary, tense. It's poorly filmed. The cinematography is awful. The lighting is awful. I don't know why this film is so ugly.
Yeah.
Like the shadows, the poor natural lighting. I'm like, you're a better director than this, right? Why does this look so bad? Like I can't think of a director who I've seen a worse film from who's actually done things that he's not an independent director anymore. He's done big budget films. I didn't understand why this movie looked so bad and was so terribly written and
Yeah,
directed.
it's just so unbelievable because this is gonna sound blasphemous here, but like even in the Twilight franchise, I had more than one scene that I liked.
No, and I would say this is more disappointing in that way because maybe this is obviously very biased. With Twilight, I don't expect as much. Here, you're saying, okay, this is probably one of the most successful intellectual properties in the world. How can you not make it interesting? And this is a point that we could bring up here. I think the idea of using mutant dinosaurs was just dumb.
Well, you know what, sir? Like this was a problem that started back in this was a problem that started back in Jurassic World. Like you know how in our Transformers episode when Revenge of the Fallen, or just like the first one, where we saw like the seeds of disaster
Yes.
before they like grew into like the big like tree of ugly. This is what happened back in Jurassic World. Like you have all these artificially like super dinosaurs that are created. That's the seed right there in Jurassic World, and you just see it getting worse and worse as you go along.
And for me, one of the biggest problems that creates is you remove the thing that's very iconic about the film. Because you know what you get if you take away the iconic dinosaurs from Jurassic Park?
You just get generic monsters.
Yes. And that's like every other film that has CGI monsters chasing people. And that's all this turned into. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and then we'll come back with some script stitch ups. Come on down to Big Rock City Zoo, where the animals are real, the snacks are affordable, and none of our exhibits require electronic fences or emergency evacuation procedures. Still not sold? Here's what we have that Jurassic Park doesn't: giraffes that you can feed with your bare hands, kangaroo photo ops with 0% chance of being flung into a ravine, and a lion that paces dramatically around, but he has never eaten anybody sitting on a porta potty. Use promo code POSTMORTEM to get a t shirt that says "Still alive after going to the zoo." Big Rock City Zoo, because safety is the new spectacle. Okay, we're back. And so we've been hitting this movie pretty hard in causes of death, and we could probably list 14 more. But let's talk about anything that we would call a script stitch up. We've talked about a lot of changes already that we could make, but let's try to keep it focused on some
Okay,
script stitch ups.
okay. Stitch up number one because I'm going down the list right now. number one, when people are injured in your movie, don't just make them just miraculously just feel better just after about an hour. Like that's not how it works. It's like that the dad, he has like an injured leg that happens on the boat somehow, and then later on in the movie he's just like crawl walking through the sewers. Like
Yeah, I didn't understand.
you can make it so much tense if his leg was still injured.
Yeah, that's again, I don't understand this film. I'm thinking, oh, the dad is injured. That's going to play a role in the story. Like you said, he can't run or walk at full speed. Maybe he dies. But no, it just doesn't play a role at all. It just doesn't ever get, revisited again.
Yeah, the Stitch Up number one. Now, don't be afraid to kill off an actor. Like
Yes.
that's the biggest like thing I can say for this starting off.
Yes,
Don't
that's what I was going to say. Give this film some stakes. You have to have people that we care about actually die. Otherwise, we don't care
Yeah,
at
or at
all.
least even be injured. Like if you don't want to kill them, have something happen to them.
Yes, nothing of consequence happens. All the characters who are going to die in this film, we literally see show up at the same time, and they don't even have names. I think we ever hear most of their names.
Yeah, Stitch Up number two. Stop making your apex predators look slow. Like these people are like jogging like at an above average pace and somehow outrunning these supposed like mutant apex predators. It's dumb. I hate it. And there's no stakes. Get rid of it. We don't need this.
Yes, that was the thing that kept the T-Rex raft scene from being really good or even good.
I was just sitting there just like, how are you fumbling this? It's literally fish in a barrel.
It was walking so slow after, even though if it was water, it was just moving so slow. It was like it was at half speed for some
Like
reason.
I was just like, is the T-Rex on a treadmill here? Like what's going on?
I just have to say this. I just want to say this to you, even if we don't use this, why I hate the way this film ends. The idea that they have randomly, like, what if we just give this information away to everybody so that the cure will be free, available for all?
I
I
was like,
can't,
clearly you do not know how pharma works.
yes, I can't say how much as a scientist I feel that that is so disrespectful, and I hate the way that attitude is perpetuated in movies and TV shows.
Yeah,
It's so lazy because it assumes for some reason two things are true. That number one, a company can make a drug and that they will own the patent for that drug forever. That literally does not happen. Drug companies have a limited time, even if it's only like 7 years or so, where they have the exclusive patent rights for something, and then anybody can make a generic version of it. You know why they need 7 years? Because it takes a lot of money to make a drug. A lot of money. So they try to recoup some of that money. The idea is like, well, they're just going to charge people and to make profit forever. No, they can't. Every single drug, any drug you can think of, even if the company made a lot of money, guess what later happened? Everybody can make knockoffs cheaper and then you can get it for like pennies, later. So that's the number one thing that I hate that people keep perpetuating that myth. Number two, what do you think it takes to actually, again, make a drug? So you can say, well, here's some dino blood information and we'll give it to the world. You know what it's going to take those other companies? It's going to take money to make it. The idea that it's just like somehow cures of diseases don't cost money to make it's beyond insulting to me. It does damage when people perpetuate this myth that somehow it doesn't cost money to do anything. And it's just evil companies. And again, I'm not somebody kissing corporate butt or anything. It's just a fact of life. You cannot say, okay, here's some dino blood DNA. Go create a cure to heart disease.
I okay, you know what? We're wrapping this up. Okay, final answer 0 out of 5. I hate this movie.
Yeah. I would say like I would have to take it down at least a one. Because again, I got to see a T-Rex slowly walk after a raft.
Okay, if you like this, if you like our ranting, and you don't like this movie, give us a thumbs up because even bad movies deserve to be thrown, have tomatoes thrown at them.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. There are no quotes that we can use for this movie.
Yeah, we'll see you next time. And remember, if you hate this movie too, give us a like.